Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today it is a sketchbook video. Now if you've been following my short form content, you know that I've been working on this one specific sketchbook for the duration of the summer. Now the summer is coming to an end, so I would like to get it done sooner rather than later, so I thought today I will bring you guys along with me with finishing a sketchbook page. So hello everyone, yes it is voiceover time and this is the sketchbook page. No, it is not like a sketchbook spread. With this specific sketchbook, I'm only working on one side because every time I've worked on one, like either side, like both of the sides, it bleeds through and then it messes up what I just worked on. And you probably could say, hey, just put a piece of paper over there, but I always forget. So for now, this sketchbook is just like a one-sided sketchbook. Now for this specific piece, I originally was just going to do the face, but I have been trying to do more like extravagant kind of sketchbook pages. So I ended up just doing a bit of like a background with a little couple images that related to the actual image. But honestly, truthfully, I didn't really know where I was going with this. I didn't know how it would turn out because a lot of the ones that I've done prior just weren't that good. This is a toned sketchbook if you couldn't tell already, so I'm using a lot of markers, colored pencils, and even paint markers in this sketchbook, mainly because I think they just show up the best and look really good on toned paper. That's like kind of the whole point of having a tan sketchbook. So I don't know what number this is, but every time I do one, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work on this with the paint markers, I'm gonna work on this with the alcohol markers, just so I can get a little bit more practice. So this is probably like my 15th portrait just in this sketchbook when it comes to paint markers. Now right here I am using alcohol markers. I found that with this method that I'm using for paint markers, starting out with the alcohol markers is just a bit easier. I find that the paint markers that I'm using, they are the Arrtrx brand. Some of them are really opaque, but some of them really are not opaque at all. So in order to save myself later with trying to find my sketch lines, I just go over the colored pencil with an alcohol marker. And I find that like if I can layer it up enough, that it'll show through when I do the actual do the actual paint marker painting process. Also, this like is sped up. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I draw so slow. This took me an hour to do, which I think is fine, like an hour-long portrait with paint markers. I think that's like normal, but I was like, I really had to edit down an hour's worth of footage. Like I've done more, but I was just like, an hour? Like, are you joking me? But no, seriously, this was actually really fun, and I do love the way it turned out. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But for right now, I am just working on all of the line art with the alcohol marker. And now that I'm looking back on it, this line art was really good. Like, I really liked how this line art looked, and that's one of my biggest issues. I really like a sketchy look. I like when you can see the sketch lines in something. So oftentimes, that kind of leads me to just... I can't say like half, like be like a little, it's not necessarily trying to be lazy, but I think sometimes because I'm not good at it, it can come off as laziness. But I just like the way it looks when like my underpainting shows through or my sketch lines show through. I just kind of like the movement that comes with it, but I think I definitely gotta get better at it because I think it does come off as like, yo, this girl is lazy and she needs to tighten up. Because I'm supposed to look at some of myself and I'm like, ew, why it look like that? Like, for real, why does it look like that? No, but seriously though, I really did enjoy like this whole sketching process. So I did end up just going in again with the alcohol markers. My sister did give me a couple tips when it came to using the paint markers, and I kind of integrated some of the things that I was doing before. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm laying down kind of all of my base colors that I want to use with the alcohol markers. So I just kind of laid down this peachy color, and then I'm laying down brown on top where I would say the darkest shadows are going to hit on the face, or at least where the darkest shadows are in the actual reference photo, just so that when I go back again, I know where they are visually. Now, this image wasn't super high contrast. I find that a lot of the images that I'm drawing aren't really super high contrast, so that's why I think it's kind of hard for me to find the shadows in the planes of the face. But honestly, that's a me issue. I probably just need to do a little bit more practice, because at the end of the day, like, if you know the planes of the face, you know the planes of the face. But oftentimes I find myself just kind of making it up, like, oh, I kind of think a shadow would hit here, or I kind of think the light would hit here, just based off of like what the image is like doing, or what the person in the image is doing. And that's kind of okay until it's not. I did mess up here, but then I kind of just went with it because I realized that I don't know if I can go back or not. So I was just like, you know what, I'll try to fix this later. But that was way darker than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be like this cute little pastel pink that I could layer later, and it absolutely was not. So then I just kind of immediately jumped into using the paint markers, because something that was like that big of a mess up, I didn't really want to ruminate on it too much. So I kind of just jumped right into the paint markers and started working with them. And this color right here, I think I ended up going... Did I go lightest to dark? I don't think I went lightest to dark, if I'm being honest with you, because this is not the lightest color that I used. I think I kind of laid this color down because it was darker than what was already laid down, but it wasn't as dark as the shadow. So I was just kind of building things up, kind of like a puzzle piece, because prior to what I'm doing in this image, I realized that I would paint over the full image, just paint over everything. And then the paint markers would come in and just cover up all of my guidelines. So then it kind of left me stuck and not really knowing where to go next. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing all the colors in chunks, because I do appreciate a cell shaded look, but I also kind of realized that it's just easier to see things this way. So I'm laying all the colors down in chunks, as you can see. And this color right here is actually the lightest color that second to lightest color. The lightest color I think I used was white, but this is the lightest skin color that I used. And I pretty much just used that in the areas that I hadn't used the other paint markers already. And immediately I was like, I think this is already looking better than everything I've done prior, mainly because as I'm building the image is looking more done, whereas though before I probably would have just went in with this entire super duper light cream color, and it would have killed my morale because I wouldn't have not known where to go next. And yeah, I was getting confused on what markers were which. Like, look, I didn't know I didn't know what I was doing. I was just started adding colors. This is that pink color again from earlier. I realized I can just cover it up, so I was just trying to experiment with what it looked like if I can get it to bleed through a little bit. And that actually kind of gave it a bit of a good effect. These paint markers dry super fast as well. I don't think I ever mentioned that when using them. They dry like almost instantly when you lay them down. It's like, what is the point of it being a paint marker? But I see a lot of people do like water. They'll use water when they paint with them. I'm pretty sure my sister, she does that a lot to get like a smoother blend. I don't mind the cell shaded look. I don't mind the super blocky shadows and highlights. So I kind of just left them and blended out just a tiny bit on certain areas just to see how I liked the way it looked. But yeah, man, there are a lot of lighter skin tone colors in this palette. Most marker sets really only have lighter skin tone colors. That's like an issue for another day. So because of that, I really was able to use a wide range of colors when it came to actively coloring this piece. So I really didn't need to shy away from using any sort of color. I did go in and try to just use as many different ones that I could find, because I find that it makes it look a bit more realistic, but also you kind of have your semi-realism come in depending on what your style is. And I'm just being mindful of the shadows and everything, trying to use the right colors for the right areas as well. But yeah, this is fun, guys. I really do think you should try out a paint marker. These paint markers are Arrtrx markers. I don't know how expensive they are, but the ones that I first started using, I got offline. They were super cheap. I think they were like $12, and they're literally called acrylic markers. Like, that's literally what they're called. I got them from Temu like a while ago, like when I was really heavy in my Temu like ordering bag. But honestly, you can find them on Amazon too, like any other product ever, and they're like $12. They're really, and honestly, truthfully, after trying both, they seem like similar in quality. I'm not even trying to be like funny here, but they do seem like really similar in color. I mean, in quality. So it's like you might as well get the $12 ones instead of the $30 ones if you're trying to be budget friendly. Or what you could do is you can wait until they're having a deal. Now, I've never really shopped on like an art supplies website, but I'm pretty sure like any other place ever, they run like campaigns and deals where you can get things a little bit on sale. That's why you'll see like a lot of influencers will be promoting them, and artists because that they're having like running a deal or something. They're probably running a summer sale right now, I don't know, but I definitely would go check them out if you're interested. And also, these are lasting pretty long. I've been using them since the beginning of the summer, and I think they're lasting pretty long. There are a couple that are dry. There are a couple that are like really, really randomly dry. I don't know if that's me or if that's just the product. You'll probably have to try it yourself just to see and make sure. But yeah, I'm having like really fun with these so far. Now, hair is one of my biggest kryptonites still. If you look at like a lot of my older like art, you can tell like I struggle a lot with hair, and I'm not saying I'm great with it in my newer art, but I am trying to find ways to stylize hair and just make it look good. Oh, and also this was an accident. I didn't know this was a silver marker. This was a gray marker, and I'm going to make her teeth gray. But I ended up using silver on accident, so I just kind of left it and gave her a silver tooth. And I think I did use the silver again later and do like silver earrings. It showed up nice on camera, so I was like, happy accident. I felt kind of like Bob Ross or something. Is Bob Ross racist? I hope you're not racist. Oh my god. But as soon as I said Bob Ross, something in me felt like he did something controversial. Let me know down in the comments, y'all. I really feel like Bob Ross did some crazy stuff, because as soon as I said his name, it was like an echo, like Bob Ross, Ross, and it just kind of felt like he did something crazy. But I don't know, maybe I just made that up. But yeah, I accidentally used the silver, so I fixed that, and then I did white for the teeth. And then when it came to the hair, like I said, like it is confusing for me. Like I was following the reference image, but I don't know. I don't know. The markers are sometimes, some of them are really opaque, some of them are a bit more translucent, depending on like how light you go with the color. So I think that was something I was struggling with here. I probably could have pushed the blonde hair or yellow hair a bit more dark so that the highlights could pop out a bit more, and I think that's why it was also getting a bit muddy. So I did go in with a bit of a darker orange, and I was just trying to create shape. Like I was just trying to create the idea of shape. I don't know why like straight hair still confuses me so much when I am rendering it. Like curly hair confuses me, but straight hair is just like, I don't know. I'd rather throw that thing in a style or something, because it always just looks like so weird when I draw it. Now I'm still working on it, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna give up, because like obviously the more you work on something, the better you'll get. And I'm not even gonna sit here and cap y'all. Like that's not just me throwing out any sort of motivational speeches. I think this is genuinely one of the best portraits that I've done since starting this sketchbook. Like really, I think it was one of the best. I actually, in this clip right now, I actually did get off of work, so I was so tired. I was like so tired drawing this, and I swear to y'all, like something clicked in my brain where I was like, because I'm so tired, and I knew I was like, either I was getting off of work or I had work the next day, that I just had to get this like done and done well, because I didn't want to have to like have it be ugly and messed up and then post something I wasn't proud of, even though I do think there are times when that is okay. Today, I didn't want it to be today. I was like, it's not going to be this day, okay? This has to turn out well. So I was being super duper mindful during the process of actively painting this. And I think it did something. Like, I really do think, like, being under a bit of pressure here to have it look good and get done in a certain amount of time really did help me. Now, this was filmed over 2 days. Really, the second day was just me finishing up the background and doing like some line art on the main piece. I did most of the bulk work that day. I had either came home from work or had work the next day. I can't really remember. My days blend together sometimes. So because I did most of the bulk work that one day, the final day wasn't even really hard. So if you notice the light change, that is why, because I try to film a lot of my traditional art videos during the day when the sun is out, because though I do have a lamp, it has a Kelvin that is very yellow, and I feel like for filming you probably want a whiter light just so it can look a bit more crispy. No racial. Look more the filming. I feel like the image will look a bit more cleaner if the light is white instead of like brown. Like I said, no racial. But because of that, I started out in the day after I came home from work, but then it became nighttime within a couple of hours, because I don't really like, sometimes I'll film and it won't be consistently all the way through. Like I'll film, I gotta go get up and do something and I'll be back. Stuff like that. So it does take me longer than the initial hour that I told y'all this actual recording was. But yeah, I did put a lot of, what was I talking about? Oh my god, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I think it was something like putting pressure on yourself to get things done. I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. I put like pressure on myself to get this done so it can be done well. And the lighting changes, and because of my lamp and doing it in the daytime, you're going to notice a couple of lighting changes, and it was filmed over a couple days. I think that's what I was talking about. I'm really just sitting here yapping with y'all just so y'all can I don't know. I just like when people talk through their videos. Sometimes I watch a video when the person's not talking, but it's like rare, because I'm like, how you not talking and there's no background noise? It's like, so really I'm just like, let me yap a little bit. Let me yap for the people a little bit, see what they going on with. And yeah, I think right here I'm trying to figure out what I want the background to kind of look like, and what I want to do as far as the background. So because the girl in the image was smoking, I obviously wanted to do like a smoking related background. I said obviously, it doesn't have to be smoking related, but I just wanted to, okay? But don't smoke. Smoking is bad for you. Smoking in all forms is bad for you. Don't let anybody tell you if it doesn't have nicotine in it that it's okay, because it's not. The act of smoking is bad for your lungs. Your lungs are not supposed to inhale smokes. It don't matter what you smoking on, okay? It ain't good for you. It is not good for you. But like I was saying, I did want to do a smoking related background, just as I thought it fit well with the theme. Now right here I'm just doing like the life, I think it was supposed to be originally the life of a cigarette, but for some odd reason the cigarettes turned into matches through the sketch process, and then I just kind of went with it, and it's like a match before and after she uses the cigarette. I think it did end up looking nice though, and I left the marker outlines, which were super thick, and I thought that looked really, really cool. It kind of reminds me a lot of like early Mob Psycho. If you guys ever watched season 1 of Mob Psycho, it's really weird, like, because they use almost like a green outline, I think, like a green line art in the animation, which I had never seen before. So when I was watching, I was like, that thick behind green outline on the animation. But then I kind of grew to love it, and it's actually really good. So that's kind of what I was thinking of when I was doing this. I wanted to have a really cartoony, thick outline, so I made sure not to cover up all the marker lines. But also too, like, the camera picks up the colors really, really well. It makes them look really opaque on camera, even though in real person I don't think they're as opaque. I feel like they're a bit more translucent. Is it translucent? But because I think the camera can't pick up all the details, it kind of meshes them together and it looks a bit more opaque on camera. So remember I told you earlier about the lighting changes? This is the lighting changes right here. So this was the next day, but also the final day of me working on this. As you can see, it's pretty much done. Like, I don't do much like painting past this point. I think I really only kind of try to push the colors out a bit more, just to make them look a bit more interesting and add a little bit of lift to the image. Something I do want to talk about though, if you can tell, I put some purple in the shadows, and I was like really, really proud of myself when I did that, because oftentimes I see people will add like a bounce light, I think it's called, to the shadows, and I always think that looks really good, but I always forget to add it. But since I've started adding it, guys, I think it's taken my art to the entire next level. I'm not even joking. So when I was doing this, I reminded myself, I was like, let me add this bounce light, because it always looks really good when I see people do it, whether it's traditional or digital, it just kind of adds this little pop to it. And that's something I've been really wanting my art to have. It's just a bit more oomph, like a little bit more, when you look at it, it's like yeah, that do look good. And it's now you're analyzing why it looks good. So yeah, I added a bit of purple in the shadows. I just wanted to mention that. I thought it was real cool. I was really happy that I remembered to do that. And I am using some, what are they called? Prismacolor pencils. I don't know why this Prismacolor has like 12 colors in it. I thought they were all supposed to be like different, but I swear to you, I have duplicates. I don't know if that's because I took my sister's by accident, but I'm like, why do I have duplicate colored pencils in this pack of colored pencils? It's supposed to be like 24 different ones, and I got 3 reds. What's that supposed to mean? What's that about? But I mean, I just use it, you know what I'm saying? I've never needed more than I have right here, but I'm just like, dang, cook me up a little bit. Can I get a little bit of variety? But no, I'm just going in with this brown colored pencil. I went with brown because I felt like black would have been too harsh. I feel like there's a time and a place for black, and I just didn't really. Did I use black? No, that's brown. I was about to say. No, I'm using brown. I just feel like it gives the same effect without using black. Also, I only got one black. One black pencil. I'm not trying to use it all just to line a piece of art. Like, I can get the same effect with a dark brown. So I just ended up using the dark brown. And really, I'm just using this to push things out because I felt like all the lines were kind of gray. And I definitely do think they need to be pushed out a little bit. Mainly because the coloring is so poppy. It's so like in your face. So I was like, the line art needs to reflect that, I think. So that's mainly why I went down and pretty much doubled down with all of my line art and did a dark brown color. Something I think about, this is super random, but y'all ever think that people who are on Pinterest, when they see the drawings of them, you know, they ever be like, boy, that's ugly? Because sometimes I draw somebody off Pinterest and I'm like, I know I did not do them justice. I know for a fact I butchered them. I be seeing y'all butcher them too. Not y'all specifically, y'all as in the people. I be seeing people butcher them too, and I'm like, dang, you did not capture their beauty. And that's okay. That's alright, because there's definitely been times where like I have jacked somebody up on a Pinterest image or a Pinterest photo. But I was just thinking about that randomly because I feel like this low-key does not look like the girl is supposed to be. I think it captures the idea. I think it does capture the idea. I love the expression. I really, really do. I wanted to get a bit more, lenient with my expressions. I feel like oftentimes they can look a bit stale. And I wanted to get more fun. So I do think I definitely captured the idea of what the image is. But I don't know. It's always just a little bit off. And I always think it's kind of funny. Because I'm like, I know these people be seeing this and be like, wait a minute. Is that? I know that ain't me. But I guess it's supposed to be. But yeah, this is just me lining it. This was really fun. This was kind of chill. I always find that line art is super therapeutic. Like, you literally just sit back and just redo all the lines you've done before. I know in my digital art, a lot of the times I'll do like one set of line art and then I'll go in again and do another set of line art. But I also will see other artists only do one set of line art and they just clean up that line art. So I'm always like, I don't know what I would do, what I should do. I try them both. But right now, I think I do like doing that's kind of second line art, just to give it a little bit more cleanliness. Now, guys, I am nearing the end of this drawing. Like I said, I really don't know why I do this, but I will go back and just nitpick things until it's like perfect, quote unquote. I'm so close to the end of this drawing. I don't see what I'm doing here. Oh, the lines. Okay. No. I'm not nitpicking, but I can get to that point. But right now, this isn't nitpicking. This is like actual progress being made. So I'm going in right now, and I am putting the blue lines, these blue kind of turquoise lines, on the stuff in the outside image because I just wanted it to pop. I wanted it to be interesting, and I thought the gray lines were boring, and I was like, if they're boring, let me fix them, let me change them. And then I went in again because this is also, the background was kind of boring. So I was like, ooh, okay. Originally I was going to add smoke, but I didn't know how I would add the smoke. So by the end of the image, I think I did want smoke. I just didn't really know what I was going to do. So I just went in with the same color as the background, and just added a bunch of swirly lines, and I was like, you could tell I'm like struggling a little bit, but I'm like, hopefully this gives smoke. Like hopefully you look at this and you're like, this is smoke. This reminds me of smoke. And then I kind of went in again eventually with a lighter blue color, just to add a bit of like depth and darkness, because whenever you see like smoke, it is always kind of lighter in some areas, darker in some areas, a bit transparent, translucent, things like that. And then yeah, it's pretty much done, and I'm really happy with this page, and I'm really happy to see what I got planned for other pages. And if you guys like it, I will try to come back with another sketchbook page. Just let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning into today's video. I really appreciate it. I hope you like it. All my socials will be down in the description. Hopefully you guys will go check them out. Follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my TikTok here. Like, comment, subscribe, you know. I would appreciate it a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.